how do I overcome issues from my past to learn how to trust enough to marry the man that everyone already thinks is my husband?
I'm going to backtrack what I was said earlier, that everyone asks a weird question. They don't ask that weird of one. Explain this. Unpack this for me.
Yeah, it's a very strange situation, and it was an accidental kind of double life that I now live, where basically what ended up happening was I met my partner, and we kind of had this whirlwind romance, and he's absolutely wonderful and super sweet, and he proposed very quickly. We had a very small wedding, but before we went through the entire legal process of actually legally getting married, I found out some things that really triggered some very bad issues for me, and it really changed everything.
So let's change a few things. You didn't have a wedding. You had a big party.
Exactly.
Okay, so we had a big party. Everybody showed up to it. They bring gifts. Y'all have like toasters and stuff?
Yep, got it all.
Okay. What did you find that made you say, I halt this thing?
Well, a little bit of context is going to be helpful for this, but basically, yes, we had a big party. We got a whole bunch of wedding gifts, and part of that was wedding money, and we put it in a joint account. And before we finished through the legal process, I happened to check that account that had thousands of dollars in it, and it was all completely gone. And he had went and spent all of it on hunting equipment and things that he wanted and never talked to me. And unfortunately, that triggered a very bad insecurity. I grew up in a very abusive household where my father was very bad with money. He would beat all of us and kind of used money to manipulate our situation. And we had to move a lot and cause a lot of insecurities. So when that happened, that really made things very challenging, where I just suddenly didn't trust this person anymore.
Okay, so he's not on the phone right now, so I'm going to ask you some questions. They're going to sound harsh, okay?
Sure, of course.
But not being mean, same team, okay?
Mm-hmm.
So you go through with this big charade, this big party. You went through basically a fake wedding. Where did you hire a minister and everything? You go through that whole thing?
Yeah, it went through the whole thing.
You just never got a marriage license?
Yeah, exactly.
And you then went home, took the gifts, deposited the money, and then I guess y'all were going to go get a marriage license later, and then a couple of days or whatever later, you realized he'd burned through all that cash?
Yeah, backstory makes it a little bit easier. It was during COVID, so it wasn't quite as easy as it usually is to get a marriage license.
So it was delayed.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So you were married in the eyes of the minister and everybody watching, just not legally.
Exactly.
Okay. So you say that you get triggered. Like this thing sets off a whole cascade of a very abusive childhood. And yet you went ahead and kept living there.
Yeah.
Do you all have kids?
We do. We have one child.
So you've been married this whole time.
Yeah, exactly. But at the same time, it's kind of this, it feels like this double life because we don't share our finances. I know you say that you're supposed to, and I want to. I don't know how to trust this person. And
That tells me this wasn't a one-time young knuckleheaded expenditure, that he's continually been not trustworthy. Is that fair?
Yes, in different ways. I will say since that time, he's never done anything, not that I've really given him the opportunity, but he's never done anything like that financially again.
But you don't know because you don't even keep up with his money.
Yeah.
He just Venmos you for groceries and rent, right?
Exactly.
Yeah, you don't know what he's doing. So how else has he been untrustworthy?
Unfortunately, I have caught him like watching porn and stuff like that. And I'd been in a previous relationship with somebody for 10 years, and he cheated on me multiple times. And that all kind of started with him watching porn, and it kind of escalated from there. So it's been other things as well.
How long have y'all been together?
Uh, 6 years.
Okay. So what's your question? How can I help you?
I don't know what to do, to be honest. I feel
I think
stuck
you
in a
exactly
life.
know what to do. I think you know what you have to do. And I think that there's still a 6-year-old little girl in there asking herself, Daddy, why are you hitting me?
Yeah, I just, to be honest with you, I want this to work.
I
I have
know.
a kid now,
You also
and
didn't want your dad to be doing that stuff, and he did anyway.
yeah,
This is
no,
a
you're
story
right.
that's replayed itself over and over in your life.
Yeah, I just, to be honest, it still is a problem. Like, every dime that I get, I still hoard money just because it's my security blanket. I don't know what to do with it. It just sits in a savings account, but I'm scared. I'm terrified to be in that situation again, and I don't know
Yeah,
kind of
you're
what to
in it.
do.
You live in it right now.
Yeah,
You're in it.
but financially, I can't leave, and I don't know what to do. And I want to make this work. I want to build
I
trust.
know.
And
You keep saying that, and I want it to work too. But everything you're telling me, behaviors of language, he's not interested in it working, or his life's just fine.
yeah, I mean, in some ways, things have gotten a lot better, but I just don't even know how to rebuild that trust. I don't know. I'm scared to try to join our finances together and to try to trust him and legally tie myself to this person.
Let me just tell you, let's get past all of that. You're legally tied to him. Anything else is an illusion in your mind. Unless the common law, did y'all buy a house together?
I have a house. It's not in his name at all.
Okay, if y'all share a kid and y'all have been together for 6 years plus and y'all went through a marriage ceremony, I can guarantee you on the other end of a divorce settlement, he's getting part of that house.
That's terrifying.
You've created an imaginary world that you think all rules are off because you didn't cross this one threshold, which is go get a marriage certificate.
Yeah.
And
You're
in
right.
fact,
I
the
feel like
marriage
I'm having-
certificate would have actually made separating one day way easier. Because if people always say like, oh, I don't need the government to get involved. When this doesn't work, or if it doesn't work, a divorce, a legal separation has legal roadmaps for how to do that. You made a human together. You are bound to this guy forever.
So what do I do?
I think the first thing you got to do is go sit down with a counselor in your local area and say, I'm not okay. If I'm being real honest with you, I don't think you're telling me the full story. I don't think you're okay.
I'm not.
Okay. Are you safe?
Yes, I am safe.
But you're way closer to the edge than you project, aren't you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And everybody else doesn't know.
I know. I've been doing this. I've been having this exact conversation for way, way, way too long. You are teetering over the edge, and you can't go over the edge. You got a little one.
Yeah, exactly.
And you can't go over the edge. You want to know really why? Because you're worth not going over the edge.
Yeah, I think I tried so hard not to end up like my family and my mother, and sure enough, somehow I accidentally ended up in the exact same place.
Okay. And you can't change anything about any of those decisions up until today. But you get to decide the very next choice you make. And that should be scary, but also hopefully way down in the dark, I hope that lights a tiny little spark. You've got agency.
Yeah, I guess I don't know what to do. I have been trying to save a little bit of money and put it aside to be able to figure out how to make it on my own, but I don't even know if I can. And to be honest, I'm terrified about that kind of stuff.
What do you mean?
Well, like, it's just, I don't even know how to move forward. Like, I have wedding pictures hanging on my wall celebrating a marriage that didn't really fully happen. I have a kid that I don't even know how I would explain this to later on. And I have a little bit of money saved that I'm so scared of spending that I just live like a miser all the time because I'm too afraid to have my childhood all over again.
Okay.
And I don't want my kid to live like that.
A couple of things here, all right? Number one, right now, you don't owe anyone any explanation. Your first job is safety. Emotional safety, financial safety, physical safety, sexual safety. That you and your boy are in a safe place. I am not convinced that this guy that you live with is safe.
Yeah, me neither.
Okay. I won't ask you any more questions because I don't want to be invasive. I can hear it in your voice that you don't want to talk about it. I won't, okay? But there's a cadence to somebody that isn't safe. And I've heard it my whole career and I hear it right now. You don't owe explanations to anybody. If you have a parent or a friend that you can go live with for 3 months, actually, it's your house. He can leave.
Easier said than done.
I know. If he's physically unsafe, I want you to call the police if you need to. If he's financially unsafe, you have to sit down with a financial planner. Actually, I work at Ramsey Solutions. I'll hook you up with a free financial coaching session, okay?
That would be great.
Who will just walk through what's the total, like how much do you owe? What's your bills? What do you make? What's a plan? And I'll also hook you up with the Every Dollar app that will connect to your bank. So you can track your expenses and it'll walk you through how to make a budget and how to stick to some of the stuff and give you some financial security back. Okay?
That would be wonderful. Thank you.
I'm going to give you 3 months for free with my friends at BetterHelp, but you have to promise me you'll call them today.
Okay, I promise.
Okay? And you'll start seeing a licensed counselor right away. You're going to need to see somebody in your local area because I think your challenges are pretty big, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You could say that.
Okay, but we're going to start today.
Thank you. I'll be honest, I don't know. I feel like I can't talk to anybody about it. It's weird and it's embarrassing and it's complicated.
You have to trust me. And I don't lie on the show, okay? You have to trust me that when somebody, let me say this in the right way. Your fear of telling somebody something, this idea of being found out, you can pull a thread all the way back to a little girl who had to keep the secret of what was going on inside her house.
Yeah, I think you're absolutely right. I never thought about it that way.
And listen to me.
I think you're right.
Freedom comes from telling stories, telling the truth. That's where you'll find freedom. And there will be some ramifications on the other side of telling the truth. Okay?
Yeah.
You're going to have to own reality. And if people in your family are like, wait, what? You're not married? No. During COVID, there was a long wait. And in between us getting married, getting the official certificate, I found some pretty wild stuff. And so I didn't do it. I was scared. And if the next response isn't, oh, honey, come over, it's, I can't believe you, then they are opting out of your life right now.
Yeah, I think I'm going to lose a lot of people that way.
Okay. I think you're also imagining that.
You could be right. It's just, you got to admit, it's a little bizarre.
The whole thing's bizarre. But you know what's not bizarre?
What?
A grown woman whose own father was super abusive, who found herself in one, if not two, adult relationships that weren't safe.
Yeah. absolutely right about that. I'm not very good at picking guys.
No, I mean, you can make it a character. So you can make it like yet another failure in your backpack if you want to. I'm not going to do that. As the great Terry Real says, we often marry our unfinished business. And there's going to be a little 6-year-old girl wondering, Dad, why are you hitting me? I'll do better next time. And I'm going to do better next time. And when I say go talk to a counselor, it's about finally healing that 6-year-old girl and letting her know it was never your fault. And working that stuff out through your body. And getting some tools on finances, getting some tools on work, and getting some next right steps. And if
I'm a stay-at-home mom. I don't know how to do this financially.
Okay. Then hang on the line and we're going to start that process. I'll get you some licensed professionals that can walk with you.
Okay.
Okay?
Thank you. Mm-hmm.
If nobody else says this, I'm going to tell you this. It's going to be hard to stay where you're at, and it's going to be hard to make some big changes. I want you to choose the hard path that's going to get you where you want to be in 3 years. Okay?
No, I agree. I think you're right.
And you're worth the work. You're worth every minute of the work. Okay?
Okay.
When you don't believe yourself, think back to those words and believe them. You're worth the work.